Yay! This is Luke Oz coming to you from Farmington today. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I'm not really one for celebrating holidays. I think it's kind of like a pre-programmed thing, and Thanksgiving, should be every day in my opinion. I mean, not the turkey and all that, but be thankful every day for what you have. And I feel like that meaning gets lost sometimes. You celebrate Thanksgiving, because of pilgrims and the Indian stuff and all that, but people like to go around and say what they're thankful for once a year around the table. I prefer to do that every day if I can, but I don't eat at a table. But I do gratitude journaling a lot to, because I am thankful. I'm thankful for what I have. I had 4 days off this weekend, but I actually went in and on Friday to get more hours on top of what I was already making, just to get that little added bonus, because of course I'm still living in my car and I'm coming to the end of all my judicial issues that I've had. Went and seen my PO for the last time. I'm gonna go to my last drug and alcohol class in about an hour, and that'll be all taken care of. Then after that, it'll be a paper chase of sending papers to the court, see about getting me off, and which I feel like I will be. I am gonna be off a paper. It might not be till January, but that's a month away. These months have just been passing. I want to tune in on the energy level. So I went to 2 Thanksgiving dinners, none with my blood family. They were like Friendsgiving, they call it, people that I hold dear to me. And I did get invited to my dad's, but the distance to drive versus how the visitation might turn out, it was kind of like, maybe I'm not going to do that and just go to the Thanksgiving with a couple of friends. Me and my family have a weird relationship. We don't really talk to each other that much, and I don't know what it is. I've never known what it is. The relationships have been so weird in the family. But I went to a few shows. I went to 3 shows this weekend, all local, supporting local scenes, local venues. And they're mostly pretty good, except for one show I went to where somebody came at me and was in my face about not being there and not talking to their family, or I don't know, it was really weird. But of course, when you're in a bar, you're dealing with drunk people, you're dealing with, it's somebody who I had an issue with a couple of years back, who was trying to get up on me, and my girlfriend didn't like it. My girlfriend spoke up, and the other person was like, well, I've known him for 30 years basically, so I can do whatever the hell I want type deal, trying to run that. And she expected me to stick up for her rather than my girlfriend, which is totally insane, because in disrespecting my girlfriend, you disrespect me type deal. So I was like, no. And I'm no longer with that girl, of course, but this happened like 2.5, maybe 3 years ago. But of course, being drunk and remembering the past, and alcohol kind of takes you to the past. You start reminiscing about stuff, and that's why I hate alcohol. I hate living in the past. I hate being stuck in a mindset that's based on the past, and alcohol really do that to me. So and she kept getting in my face, and you could tell she wanted to hit me and this and that, and her brother was kind of holding her back so she wouldn't touch me. It was getting really annoying, so I didn't get to finish watching the show. Instead, I went out to my car and waited till the show was over, because I was giving my friend a ride back to her place. So instead of saying, hey, I gotta go, let's go, I let her stay in there, enjoy the show. My shit doesn't have to be other people's shit, It was a little disheartening, but That's how a lot of people are. They're not adult enough to let go of things and all that, you know. There's a lot of people that aren't adults. You know, and I did some Reiki work over the 4-day weekend with a friend of mine who's been struggling, who's been having to move and is pretty much in the predicament I'm in, you know, living in the car, not really having a solid place to stay, and not really wanting to hop from couch to couch, you know. Shit's annoying. So, and you know, it is getting cold. It's a lot colder. I like the cold personally. The summer killed me. On a real note, the summer is what killed me. The cold I can deal with, so I'm not struggling too bad out here. But I was doing energy work with this person, but I'm pretty sure she was drunk the whole time, so I'm not sure that any of the work that I did got through to her, because in my past experiences, when I first started doing like Reiki work, I didn't, you know, I was taught that, you know, it doesn't have much of an effect if the person's under the influence or if the Reiki master is under the influence either. It goes both ways. It kind of stagnates the chakra flow, I guess. Because you want to be in the here and now, and alcohol will take you to the past. And so putting those two and two together really makes sense to me now. Initially, they don't want you high on anything. They just want you all, when we're going to sit down and do some energy work, whether it be, you know, working on a couple chakras or doing a whole body scan and doing a emptying of stagnant energy and re-energizing with real energy. Yeah, you need to be in the here and now in order to get results, basically. Not only that, you have to usually go a couple different times, you know, and start exercising things that are taught to you from the Reiki master in order to enhance or stay in that mindset when life throws stuff at you, you know. Yeah, so I tried working with the person, a couple different people, and it's really bizarre nowadays because, I mean, we went through this retrograde, we went through the full moon, and it almost seems like after everything was done, it's like we quantum leaped and things were different. That's what I felt. I'm thinking around, you know, like Friday or something, I felt things seeming a little bit different, like some tables had turned. I couldn't quite really pinpoint where it was, but I noticed that I do a lot of that, and I don't know if it's because I travel so much. I'm always driving somewhere, and it's usually 20 to, you know, 60 miles away. I think I go through different portals or key areas where things have happened to be able to feel like, you know, you're going through some kind of portal, because, you know, when things happen, it does create an energy, whether it be good or bad things, you know. Got to play music this weekend for a little bit, and got to see some good bands play. Life's really good. I'm going to be off paper soon. I'm going to be in a place soon. And it's all because of the work I put in. You know, I manifest that stuff. I do the 369. I do the new moon intuition ceremonies. All these things help me be able to manifest exactly what I want. I'm getting another chance this coming Friday to play with Big Car again, which is a really good band out of Salt Lake that does cover songs. They do 4-hour sets when they play, so it's really cool. And they played over the weekend, and I guess they thought I was coming and was gonna cover some songs with the band, but I ended up going to a different show. Don't regret it. It was cool. It was a fun time. but I am, trying to brand the zombie drummer, trying to get some financial flow through this character that I made 15 years ago, and actually put it to use rather than just entertaining everybody for free. Maybe make a little of that financial energy if possible. That's what I'm setting my goals for. Yeah, it's crazy. So, like, when people get in a really bad frame of mind, or their spirit just gets stuck in this negative place, and they just can't shake it, they're just stuck in it until whenever it's supposed to be done. I take it. And it just doesn't matter what you say or do, you just can't help them. You just can't get them unstuck. Normally in the past, because I had a situation over the weekend where, I was dealing with somebody like that. I was really trying to help them, but they were totally caught up in the situation, the moment of the reality of having to live in your car, or, you're being semi-homeless, you don't got a bathroom to use or whatever, a shower and comfy heat and whatnot. This person was just dwelling on it, and I remember when I came to the point where I knew I was going to have to live in my car just because ends weren't meeting, and there's no way I was going to be able to get my own place. And it was a hard transition. I had to really tune into my spirit and give myself a warm hug and let myself know that you can do this. It's easy. You gotta just get a routine down. Once you get a routine down in this lifestyle of living in a vehicle, and you got certain things to help you, stay safe and stay warm and all that, it's doable, and it's really cheap for the most part. I mean, I got a lot of TLC to give to my car. It needs a lot of things like majorly replaced on it at this moment in time, and so you have that aspect. But naturally I don't have a $700 a month rent or utility bill or anything like that, so it works out. But it does get old, it does get taxing at times. But the days or the weekends when I go out to see shows or whatever, I don't have to risk driving when too tired if it's a late show, because I get out, some shows locally get out at 1-2 o'clock. I can just drive around the corner, randomly find a spot to park and sleep, and then next morning figure out what I'm doing from there. But it was totally I was busy all weekend. Sunday, yesterday I slept most of the day because I didn't get a lot of sleep during the weekend, and it's been good. It's been quite rewarding to have the family and friends I do have today, and have the lifestyle I have today, and be able to still have manifestations of growth through this process, even though I don't have everything that a normal person would have. And you don't really need much to do energy work. You don't really need much to live, in my opinion, for me anyways. So it hasn't been that bad, but it is definitely getting colder and a little bit more of a challenge. But I trust in my guides, I trust in my intuition. I don't feel like they've ever steered me in the wrong way, because this is about me. This is about my success. This is about me moving forward. So anyways, with my friend who was just being stuck in the moment, I was there to help move, but she wasn't moving nothing. It was just like she was sulking and laying in her bed, and I really just, and my plan was to help her all weekend until things got done. But after going over there Saturday and absolutely being over there for a few hours and absolutely getting nothing done, I decided not to go back Sunday and did my own thing Saturday night, went to a show, and then, relaxed all Sunday because I wasn't gonna put time and effort into something that maybe someone didn't want me to help with or wasn't going to be able to pull through and get stuff done, wasting my energy and time. And in the past, I would force things like that. I would have showed up Sunday and be like, come on, we got to get this, because this is a court issued thing. We got to be out. And so I'm first on the list of people when I get a good connection with somebody and I want to help them, see them succeed. I put myself out there and help as much as I can, but I'm starting to learn that sometimes read the room, dude. People don't need your help. And I get it, and it's fine. I've had a bad habit of doing that most of my life, and I'm finally to the point where I can draw boundaries and, tend to my own stuff. Because I can burn out really quick, helping other people all the time and not, So I like that growth. I have another friend whom I really like and I like hanging out with, and, we have a past together romantically. And we still hang out, and we, it's like, it's a really good relationship, and I don't know how we do it because we're both attractive people, and we just stay friends, and we don't push forth that, we just kind of keep it chill. And that's another cool growth thing for me, because in the past, if things were getting hot and heavy, then I'm not going to come around, because that's used to be, I'm not really a whore in that fashion, but if I like somebody, I like somebody, it's just the way it is. But so having boundaries, it's a lot of work with the Zombie Drummer, I call it a campaign of mine, because I want to get well known, and I want to be able to spotlight myself through different genres of music, and possibly playing here and there for different bands who need a fill-in drummer or something like that, where I can I can promote myself and plus make a little bit of money if possible. There's not a lot of money in the local scene, but there's some, so that's what I've been focused on. Other than that, focusing on where I'm at spiritually, and if I'm, living in ego, or if I'm checklisting all my stuff just to make sure that I'm, as balanced as I possibly can be in order to make right decisions and do right things today. Today, it's a godsend. I'm doing my last of my classes, my last of my report. Get to go to the dentist tomorrow. Yeehaw. I mean, the year's almost over. I'm almost 49. And the older you get, the more you think about things like, how can I be a better service? That's what I think the older I get, where can I be of service at where I haven't been before in order to serve my purpose. And not a lot of things have came up through intuitiveness, but my goal of my entertainment side of me is pretty hot and heavy, and I'm putting forth effort into relaunching the Zombie Drummer and putting myself out there a little bit more than what I have been, because it's fun and people enjoy it, and it's a good time, and it's creative, and it's one of my hugest outlets, so why not do it right? Other than that, just focusing on what's real and what's really gonna make me happy, and a lot of meditation on that, a lot of meditation on the steps I need to take next when getting off probation, when time comes up for me to go be featured live somewhere, or wherever it may be. There's been a lot of suit up and show ups over the weekend. And I'm sure there's going to be tons this next month. It's the end of the year. A lot of parties going on, a lot of things happening. And I want to be in the midst of that. You know, I want to be one of the best entertainers I can be. So, pushing forth with that, checking my spiritual levels to see if I got enough energy and how to gain that energy. I know a lot of my shower meditations, I do water meditations that are my favorite by far. Not only am I getting zoned into the sounds of water and meditation itself, I'm also getting the heat from the water, so it feels good on a physical level, it feels good on a mental level, it feels good on a spiritual level. It really helps me to like balance. It's been really cool. I keep doing it, and it never like changes up. It always helps me. It always puts me where I need to be. So yeah, so more shows coming, more I'll probably post some more live recordings. We are currently looking for a singer and possibly a bass guitarist for Creative Chaos. I put it out there and got a lot of responses. We'll see who takes the hook, though. We'll see how this turns out and keep moving forward with Creative Chaos. The music's still tighter than ever, and it's getting better and better, so I'm gonna keep on pushing forth with that as well. So I hope everybody learned something through your Thanksgiving event, and I hope you cherish the moments you did have with family. This is Lucas, and the weirdness in me will always uplift and care about the weirdness in you. Namaste.